It's Di here from Di's Den, and welcome to the last video for February. Can you believe we're at the end of February already? Where is all this time going? I don't know. I can't believe it. Well, anyway, this card today is a card we've done before, a card called a side stepper card. It stands up like so. Let me pop it on the side so you can actually see that it has a zigzaggy on this side, and on this side it's just the plain one. It opens up so you've got plenty of space inside to write, and it does stand up really lovely. Now, I did do this in a 6x6 card, but I was asked by a lady in my Facebook group called Linda Ann Barnes if I would be able to do one that would fit into a regular size envelope. So I thought, well, why not? We haven't done one, and it was 5 years ago when we did the one in the bigger size. So we're going to be doing this card in this size, the regular size card, which is the 4 1/8 by 5 7/8 of a card, and we're going to use the Happy Hibiscus. So let me pop this card out of the way for a moment. I'm going to be using the whole bundle, which is this beautiful embossing 3D embossing folder here, and you can't see the picture on it very well. Can I see better when I open it up? It's got beautiful hibiscuses on the inside. I suppose it's called hibiscuses. Who knows? I can never tell. Anyway, it is a hybrid, so it comes with all these dies. So we've got a couple of dies for doing sentiments, some leaves, some little flowers, and another leaf. And this die that cuts out the 3 main flowers, which are, I don't know if they're the same size as those ones in there. Let's have a look. So you could cut them out as well. I would imagine the answer would be yes. Have I got that the right way around? No, I've got it the wrong way around. I don't know. I would have to sit down and work it out. But I'm pretty sure that they would fit in those and be cut out. Oh yes, look, there's the 3 there. Look, they're all stuck together. Those 3 there will go into those 3 here. Like so. This is obviously the wrong way around. Silly Billy. Like so. So that will cut those 3 out just there, out of the paper, so that they're all separate. Or you can do it like I have done in the embossing folder, where you actually line this up with those on here, like so. You put your card on the top. So I haven't got any spare card here, but you put that on the top, pull that over, and then run it through the embossing folder, and it will cut them out, and you'll get this embossed look on your hibiscus, like this one is here. So this is what we've done today, and I've also used the embossing folder as such as well. So that is gorgeous. We are using the You Make Me Smile and Thanks for Being So Kind as well, and I've also cut out some of the leaves. So that's what we're using today. Let me pop them away for now because I don't need them here. Okay, so let me show you what you're going to need. So I've cut out everything. I've actually coloured a couple of the hibiscus already. So I actually there was another one I cut out with the paper. So I think he looks a little bit rough on that edge there. So that needs to be a bit more rounded. That's better. Okay, so I actually cut the extra one out because when I had the paper in there, I had enough in there and it came out with it, so I thought that would be nice. Well, we've got our hibiscus already cut out, but we will colour them together so you know. And you've got 4 leaves. Okay, and I've actually embossed these ones for the front of the card for something a little bit different. So let's start. So we need, our main stepper card is 11 3/4 by 4 1/8. Then we want our left layers, which are 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and then the DSP, but in this case I'm doing the white with the embossing, so it is 1 1/2 by 1 1/2. And then for the other piece on this side, you're going to need a piece that is 1 3/4 by 2 5/8, and our other piece that has been embossed, which is 1 1/2 by 2 3/8. For our bottom piece along the bottom here, which measures 3 7/8 by 3/4 of an inch, and then our designer series paper will be 3 5/8 by 1/2 an inch. On our right hand side, we need another piece that measures 1 7/8 by 4 5/8, and our DSP, or in this case my embossed piece, which measures 1 5/8 by 4 3/8, and then my writing panels, which will go on the inside, is 3 7/8 by 2 3/4, and then my writing piece in the white measures 2 1/2 high by 3 5/8. So that's all the bits you're going to need. So let's start by cutting our doing our card. So what we're going to do first is we need to actually measure it. So we want to measure in on the left hand side 1 inch. 1 inch, 1 inch in, and just put a mark. I'm going to do that top and bottom. It's just easier for the machine. And then we're going to measure in down 1 inch from that mark. Okay, from the top. That's all we're going to measure it from the top. From the bottom, you need to measure it, I can't remember, 8 3/4, 9 3/4, 10 3/4, 11, 3 inches. So from this end, we're going to measure it at the 3 inch mark on our left hand side. So on our left hand side, that's what we're going to measure. That doesn't look right, does it? Let me look at this. That should have been 2 inches in. Oh, I can't even read my own writing. This is not bad, is it? Can't even read my own writing. So it's 2 inches in. So that's okay. 2 inches in there. And 2 inches in there. I don't know what's the matter with me. I've got the stupids on today. Alright, so if we pop this in here at the 2 inch mark, you'll know that it's in the right spot. And I'm going to stand up to do this. It's because it's easier. And I'm going to pop this in at the 2 inch mark. And I'm going to bring my blade down to the 1 inch mark. So you can actually tell, because if you look at the blade, let me see if I've got something to... You can see it's got this line on here. See this line here? There's one on both sides as well as all 4 sides. But we want it at the 1 inch mark on this, on our trimmer, or 2.5 centimeters if you have a centimeter thing on here. And we're going to cut that from there down to the 8 3/4 mark. I'm going to cut that down too, and we can see that mark coming up, 8 3/4, like so. Once we've done that, that's all our cutting done. So I'm going to pull that out, and I'm going to rub off all these marks. So even the ones I put in the wrong spot, which was very clever of me, wasn't it? Never mind. I was reading the wrong measurement places. Anyway, so we know that this 2 inch side, the other side, oh look, my blade is starting to get a bit yucky. So let's pull this in here and give this a nice clean up. Oh, look at that. My blade is getting a bit dead, I think, again. Oh, another one. I seem to go through them very quickly sometimes, and other times They last for ages. It just seems to be whatever. Okay, so I've actually got that off there. So look at that. That looks so much nicer now, doesn't it? All right. So we've got our 2-inch mark on our left-hand side, and you can always double check that by checking it. All right. And we're going to bring in our scoreboard now. Bring in our scoreboard, and we're going to double check that. We have our 2-inch mark. Yep. And we're going to turn it over so that is that the 2-inch mark still? Nope. Ah, come on. That's my 2-inch mark. So I've got my 2-inch on this side, and I can double check that. So that I've got that. You can see that the cut is at the 2-inch mark. And we're going to score this at, starting from the end where we've got the 1-inch end on the left hand side, and we're going to score it using the small ball down to that cut line at 1 inches. Okay, then we are going to bring this in because I can't read that far away today, my eyes are a bit funny. We're going to do exactly the same at the 2-inch mark to the cut line. And then we're going to do exactly the same again at the 4-inch mark to the cut line. And then we're going to do exactly the same again at the 8 3/4 mark to the cut line. Like so. And then in the middle at the 5 7/8 we're going to score that right the way across. So we're scoring just down to the 2-inch mark. So we've got our 2-inch cut line on the left hand side. And I'm going to sneeze, and I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. We're going to score down to the cut line at 1, 2, 4, and 7, 5. 1, 2, 4, and 8 3/4, and then at the 5 7/8 all the way through. Once we've done that, we can pull that ball out of the way and bring in our card. Okay, and we're going to fold it in half at that score line to start off with. And that's entirely up to you if you want to do it this way or whether you want to. But I find it just that it lays flatter, nicer. Even though this one's going to go the opposite way. So once we've done that, we now need to put that one the opposite way. So we're going to start at the top where we've got the 3-inch mark, and this one is going to be a mountain fold. The next one's going to be a valley fold. Then we're going to have another mountain fold. Whoa, let's do it that way. And then another valley fold. And the last one is another mountain fold. So we have our card, which looks like so. We're going to put that a nice burnish over. So we have a mountain, a valley, a mountain, a valley, a mountain. And this one here is a mountain, obviously. So we have our basic shape for our card. And at the present time it seems very, very springy and like pulls apart really easy. But if we put that down on one side nicely for a moment, we can bring in the rest of our pieces. And what we're going to do is we're going to glue these all together. So we're going to glue all of our layers together. So we're going to glue our 3 7/8 by 3/4 with our 3 5/8 by 1/2 inch piece of designer series paper together. We're going to put together our 1 3/4 and 1 1/2 inch pieces together. Now if you've got a directional paper, you need to make sure that everything is in the portrait except for this one piece, which will be the landscape. We've got our long piece, which is the 1 7/8 by 4 5/8 and the 1 5/8 by 4 3/8. pieces. And then our last piece for our left hand side, which is the 1 3/4 by 2 5/8 by 1 1/2 by 2 3/8. So once we've done that, we can pop them all together, and they look beautiful. We'll give them a bit of a wipe over on the back, make sure they're all down nice and hard because of being embossed. Whoops. And then we'll bring in our main card and we will pop our layers on. So we can start by putting our small layer on the front. And to me, it's easier to do it when it's laid flat. So you can lay your card flat again and pop your layers on. You'll know where they go by the shape of them. And if you're like me and you've got an embossed layer, just make sure that if it's got a direction on the embossing, that you pop that in the correct direction as well. Which it shouldn't have too much of a direction, I don't think. The written instruction sheet, tutorial sheet, which will be found on my Facebook group page, will actually have where you actually place these pieces, because you need to know where you need to put them. You will notice you'll have two pieces that measure 1 3/4 inches. So make sure you put it on the first one, not the second one. And now once we've done that, we'll turn that over and give them all a nice wipe down as well. Make sure they're all nice and hard. And when we stand this up like this, you can see that we have all these lovely panels here like this now. And it stands a lot nicer, and it will stand even better once we put our insert in. So we will do our insert before we actually do the decorating the front, because it will just make it a little bit easier. So we're going to take our piece of cards that measure 2 3/4 by 3 7/8 and 2 1/2 by 3 5/8, and it's going to go on the portrait way. And we're going to use, oh my goodness, I can't find it. Get over there, you. Pumpkin pie, which is this colour here. And we're going to, and this pad looks like it's starting to get a bit old. You Make Me Smile. And I'm just going to put that right in the middle there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. While I've got that there, I'm also going to stamp this piece here, which is the circular one out of the set, and I'm going to stamp that with "Thanks for being so kind" to put on the front. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I don't think I bought any embellishments over here. I didn't. Oh dearie me. Never mind. We will find them later, and when you see the photos, they'll be on there. Okay, so we've got that. We'll pop that on one side for a moment. Let's glue this one down. And glue that to the inside of the card. Now if you really wanted to, you could actually put a piece that went up here, so you'd need a piece that was the regular size, and then cut this section out of it. But I don't think it needs it personally. I think that's quite enough. Whoops, and once again, at the present time it's still spongy. There we go. It does go, as it sits down lower for longer, it will stay down. Okay, let's bring in our pieces. We've got all our leaves here, and I've done 2 of my hibiscuses, and we're going to do the other 2. So I'm I'm going to start with the yellow, this crushed curry, and my pads are really not the best at the present time. I think I've got to buy some new ones by the looks of this one. It's looking a bit icky, but I'm bringing in my, so I can knock a bit off, and I'm just going to go around the edges like so. And you can use a bit of that to pick up some more of the ink. And you make it as bright or as light as you want. Okay, so we'll put a yellow on there. Let's do the yellow on this one. I think that was yellowy enough. Oh, maybe a tiny bit more. Give it a good wipe over. This one I'm just going to bring in now, and I'm going to bring in my other colour, which is my pumpkin pie. And my pad here is looking a bit sorry for itself as well. And I'm going to just do this one in the centre. And then you can just bring it out to the sides as much as you want. Once you're happy with the way it's looking, now that looks a lot better than that one, I must admit. You just keep going until you're happy. I might put a little bit more in the centre of that one. There we go, that looks a bit better. Alright, so once we're happy with that, we can then close up our pads, get rid of our bit of scrap paper, and bring in our main card. Now make sure you haven't got, if you're doing it in white like me, that you don't have marks all over your fingers. And we're going to pop, now these can go over the edge, because it's, as long as it stays within this section, not this width, it can go over the edge. So I'm going to do mine a bit like that. So I'm going to glue this one on flat, about there. And then I'm going to actually put some dimensionals on the back of this one. Oops, my goodness. Where are they? Here we go. So I need to work out which way around this is going. So we want one there, and one there. Because we don't want to go over the edge. We don't want it to stick down to the other one here either. So we need to just double check that. When I'm happy with that, I can then pull them off the back. And I'll do that again. Just making sure that I have them over the edge so that you can't see any of the dimensionals on the back here. Okay, and we'll pop this one in here. So I think we will actually probably put that one down low, or do I pop him on the top? I think I'm going to lay him flat, so I'll pop him on flat. And I have the other flower which I'm actually going to pop over this side here, and I'm going to lay it so it goes over a little bit so that it looks like it's part of the same flower group. So we'll pop him so he's on there like that. Oops. So he looks like, oops, he's part of the same group. So I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on the bottom of him so that he sticks up. And we want to make sure he goes underneath this panel and underneath this one. So he's sitting there like so. So let's move them out of the way. Get that out of the way too. And we'll pop our leaves on and our saying. I'm going to pop my little saying down here right at the front. And I'm going to pop him up on some glue along the bottom edge here, so making sure that you've got him sitting nicely. I'm going to pop him onto this left hand side so that he sits there nicely like so, and then we can just pop our leaves in, making sure that our leaves do not go over this edge. They can go over this edge, but they can't go over the other one. So glue this leaf down. Couple of leaves there. I will pop a leaf there. Making sure that I'm not going over that side edge. So I'm pressing down hard so he's in there nicely. And then this other leaf, I'm going to pop him on this side here somewhere. Oops. And again, making sure that I don't go over this edge here. So I'll pop him in like so. My goodness. Glue, get where I want you. And that's our card. Isn't it gorgeous? I think it's actually come up really beautiful. I'm annoyed that I didn't bring any embellishments over, but I will actually finish it off with some embellishments, and when it's photographed you'll be able to see them all. I just think it's come up gorgeous. And if you've enjoyed today's card and you'd like the written tutorial for this, head down below to Di's Den for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials. That's my Facebook group, and you'll find the written tutorial there. If you're watching this video at a later date, not the date that it went live, then just check when you join the group. And if you join the group, if you're not a member, you do have to answer the question or you won't be allowed to join the group. You go to the files section. With the same date, you'll find the same tutorial for this card with exactly the same name. So if you've enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. I do answer them all. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss anything. Hit that bell so that you don't miss any future videos, and I will see you all again in March. Bye for now.